Before we get into this, I just want to say, this video is for commentary, education, and discussion based on what's being reported and said online. Everything discussed is alleged, and this is not meant to bully or harass anyone involved. Okay, let's spill some tea and sip a little drama.
And what's gonna really be coming out here soon is the snitches. Really soon, they got 9 people they're saying who are gonna cooperate against Lil Durk. 9 people. These are
Lil Durk's legal team is back in court, and this time they're accusing federal prosecutors of trying to stack the deck before the trial even begins. Ahead of jury selection on August 20th, Durk's attorneys filed an emergency motion asking the judge to block what they call explosive evidence from being shown to jurors. According to the defense, prosecutors want to introduce photos of guns, gang-related material, text messages about marijuana, and robbery allegations that have nothing to do with the Los Angeles murder-for-hire case currently headed to trial. Now here's why this matters. A judge already ruled that separate racketeering charges and unrelated Chicago violence would be handled in a different trial. So the defense argues the government is trying to sneak that same material back in through the back door to unfairly influence the jury. Their filing even claims prosecutors are attempting to inflame the biases of jurors. But prosecutors are pushing back. They want jurors to see Lil Durk's 2021 music video for "Pissed Me Off," arguing the lyrics show his intent to retaliate after King Von's death. Durk's attorneys are also trying to suppress a 2021 text message they say came from a phone that was unlawfully seized after Durk was the victim of a home invasion. Another issue on the table is a proposed gag order after prosecutors objected to public comments made by Durk's legal team. The judge is expected to rule on these key motions during an evidentiary hearing on August 13th, with jury selection still scheduled to begin on August 20th in Los Angeles. This case is turning into a battle over what the jury should, and shouldn't, be allowed to see before opening statements even begin.
Update on Lil Durk. He had his bond hearing today. He looked good. He looked like he was in good spirits. No crazy weight gain or anything like that. He looked good. The judge was on the same vibes she was on last time, which is that, wait, they're saying murder for hire. They're saying you put bounties up. They're saying you ordered the shooters. They're saying the shooters shot. I'm saying that's going to be no bond. There's basically no argument you can make to this judge in a murder for hire case to get a bond. The one silver lining for the defense is that the prosecution's case has taken 2 major hits. One, the prosecution has had to abandon their allegation that he rapped and celebrated about this murder, that he put these lyrics out talking about, oh yeah, I got you, you out here screaming no, no, crying in the street. Prosecution had to back away from that allegation. It was proven false. They need that allegation, and now they're not going to be able to have it. The other allegation they backed away from, which is huge, it shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the death through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and so they took it out. So at the end of the day, there was never a chance of a bond when you saw how the judge kind of ruled after all the argument and what she was saying. But there is a silver lining, which is the case.
Bruh, the federal government is at it again with this Lil Durk case, y'all. Because according to them, they claiming Lil Durk put up a whole M on Quando Rondo's head to get him knocked off, bruh. And I'ma say it again for the people in the back who ain't hear me at first. The federal government is claiming that Lil Durk put up a whole M on this dude's head, bruh. A whole M on this dude's head, bruh. Like, bruh, if you believe this, you gotta be green as hell, man. Because this ain't no disrespect to Quando Rondo, but at the end of the day, we talking about Quando Rondo, bruh. Like, I'ma tell you now, and at this point, the feds gotta be tripping, man. Because they must think Quando Rondo is as big as these dudes right here, bruh. Like, I can understand if Durk was beefing with somebody like Baby, Future, Thug, or Jeezy, I can understand him putting an M on their head because how big they is and how much love they got in the streets. But Quando Rondo, bruh, and again, this ain't no disrespect to him, but I know it's a lot of dudes out there in the streets that'll probably get at him for the low ball, probably like 5 racks or 10. I mean, just look at it this way, bruh. Word on the street is Jeezy once sent somebody at the Gucci Man for $10,000 just to take his chain, and we talking about Gucci Man, bruh. I mean, they even say Big Jook, who was Gotti's brother, paid these dudes at the bottom 100 racks just to get at Dolph, and we talking about Dolph, y'all. So again, if the feds believe Lil Durk paid these dudes $1 million to get at Quando Rondo, they better off throwing out the case, bruh.
Look, Lil Durk ain't never coming home. This man has a Super Saiyan 6 level snitch on his case. It's not happening. OTF Jam is the icing on the cake for the feds in this Lil Durk murder for hire case. He is co-conspirator too. He is Judas to Jesus. He is the nail in the coffin for the death of the drill culture. Y'all may ask me how and why. Well, let me give y'all all the information y'all looking for. OTF Jam got jammed up by the federal government for having a gun with a fully automatic switch attached. He tried to throw the charge on his cousin who didn't have a record because he felt, you'll get off easy, I never come home, I don't care how the fuck you feel, you gonna take this charge. And the cousin felt played, cause the cousin was like, damn, how you gonna ruin my life? I got kids, I got family, and you just gonna use your criminal past and leverage to bully me into a felony history? What the fuck? So anyway, yeah, that's how these street niggas be coming. They very rogue and unruly. But anyways, back to OTF Jam. Why he feel like his back against the wall. Who are the key people involved. I'm just giving y'all everything y'all need to know. So boom. Remember, he with his cousin when he get jammed up for the gun and switch. Time passed. It's time to go whack Lil Pap. OTF Jam get a call from Schmirkio himself. Not from Boona. Not from Flocka. Not from Brown Eyes. From AKA Blood himself. Look, Jam, it's go time. It's a go. We got our eyes on this nigga. He done dropped the low. We on him. Come on. Jam, all right. That's a bet. He jump on the plane. He come out there and he meet Schmirkio. They pull up at the gas station. They let iron fly at Lil Pap and Quando. That's me holding the drum, giving y'all a visual. Lil Pap is ultimately deceased as a result. Rest in peace to that young man. But see, the focus is Jam. Because Jam was on the scene. Jam got called by Schmirkio. Jam got jammed up by the feds. And Jam is the reason why Lil Durk would never come home again. They light Lil Pap and them up and they go home. Niggas go different ways. Y'all know how people scatter like.
Keep in mind, if he's found guilty of murder for hire, it's automatically life in prison. They don't play around when it comes to these conspiracy murder charges. There's no like, oh, give him 5 years. You know, it's either life or not. We've heard nothing about a plea. I don't think this is going to be a situation where they're going to offer him a lengthy plea, nor I think they will, nor I think he would take that anyway. He's either going to beat it or he's going to get convicted.
Lil Durk and his team have filed a motion to suppress evidence after the phone that he had was seized during the 2021 robbery at his home. And I think if this gets suppressed, there is no way Lil Durk is not coming home. I already feel like the court case is going in his favor. I think that Drew Fallon and I forget the other lawyer name, but I feel like they have done a great job. The public perception of Lil Durk is great, and I think Durk is going to be able to beat this case.
Now we'll have to wait and see what the judge decides on August 13th, because that ruling could shape what the jury is allowed to hear when this trial officially begins. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates.
Lil Durk trial is coming up in a couple weeks, and we just found out that THF Basil getting unalive made it harder for Durk to beat this case because they said co-conspirator 6, which is THF Basil, was a central figure in the case due to him having first-hand knowledge on key events that took place. And Lil Durk legal team say Basil passing away could impact his chances at a fair trial because the feds is trying to use a statement that someone heard THF Basil say. But since he passed away, it's no way for Lil Durk legal team to confirm if what they actually saying is true. And his lawyers goes on to say if the trial wasn't delayed, this situation wouldn't have happened. Also, the feds are trying to claim the reason Lil Durk and India home was broken into was because Durk was putting money on people's heads. And the feds are trying to use the things they confiscated from the 2021 home invasion as evidence for this case. But his legal team has filed a motion to suppress anything that was found in the 2021 incident due to those things being unlawfully seized and searched because the warrant only allowed devices of the perpetrators to be confiscated. obfuscated. And Lil Durk and India was actually the victims in this situation.
He really cut his locks off?
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's been really embracing Islam more now.
Way more, yeah. Yeah, way more.
How do you feel about that?
His religion is his religion and mine is mine. I never judge what he do or how he do it. Never. And he never, well, he always on me about mine, but I would never speak on his religion.
Yeah.
And he always like, well, you know what you got to do, Mom. I'm like, no, I don't.
What does that mean?
He want me to be a
Become
Muslim. Yeah.
We could be Muslim sisters.
I know, right? I was like, I'll think about it.
That's hilarious.
Just so he can be quiet.
Has he tried to convert any other family members?
His sisters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All the time.
That's very cute.
I'm like, you just the biggest recruiter there is. No.
Do you feel like people have like abandoned you guys since then, or people?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. I've experienced firsthand. I was getting ready to do a women's shelter. Mm-hmm. Everybody was all for it, and yeah, we're gonna get these funds and these grants and all this going on. And then when that happened, it's not a good look right now.
To my fans, but I don't like calling my fans fans. I like calling them family. So shout out to my family, supporting me, being there for me. I'm reading y'all letters. If y'all think I'm getting them, I'm getting them. I responded to a few. I don't know if they got out, but I appreciate y'all for being on Team Schmirk 1,000%. My mental good. Y'all ain't got to worry about me. I'll be home soon. Let's get it. Free the voice so you can free the world.
Now, obviously, if you're a fan of Durk or a fan of Vaughn, you remember this exact incident. Because if you remember, this is when Durk and Vaughn allegedly robbed and shot somebody.
Case against a rapper accused in a shooting outside of the Varsity will move forward. Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial. Channel 2's anchor Lori Wilson is live near where the shooting happened, near the Varsity, and Lori, police say they have video evidence in this case.
Javita, APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to a studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night the victim, Banks, Bennett, and others went to a nightclub, a gas station, and ended up in the parking lot of the Varsity. That's when Witherspoon said he was robbed and shot.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck, and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
You see Mr. Banks' arm out the window firing several shots at the victim, towards the victim.
Banks' attorney says this is a celebrity witch hunt.
Were it not for the celebrity status of these two individuals, then this would be an aggravated assault.
Banks released a single "Turn Myself In" the day he turned himself in. It's gotten almost 7 million views. The prosecutor charging this wasn't just a robbery and shooting, but gang activity. She put a Chicago detective on the stand to testify that Banks and Bennett are members of Chicago gangs.
Is it possible to continue your affiliation and even commit crimes when you move out of Chicago if you're in a different city or if a different area?
Yes, ma'am.
Vaughn ended up dying before the case was resolved, and Durk ended up beating the case. And a lot of people try to say, oh, Durk must have threw Vaughn under the bus, whatever. But then I believe the DA came out and said if Vaughn was still alive, we would have charged him with this shooting. And I mean, if we just go and watch Trap Lord Ross's masterpiece documentary on King Vaughn being a serial killer, we know he's trigger happy. So it's no surprise that Vaughn most likely popped dude in Atlanta. And from what I heard, that wasn't the only person he shot in Atlanta. But this is serious because if the feds are trying to use this against Durk, this is an attempted murder case. A dismissal motion from 2022 said prosecutors reviewed the facts and chose not to prosecute, even though probable cause had existed for Durk's arrest. Durk's lawyer said for some reason they decided that Mr. Banks was